my name is Ms. Leslie Gonzalez. I'm going to introduce myself. I am going to tell you what I'm going to be doing. Please, if you have any questions, any comments, don't hesitate to share with me because I'm interested in knowing you and also knowing what you think and just hearing just pretty much overall what you have to say. So a little bit about myself. I am teacher's aide. I work for Roselle Public Schools with kindergartens. In the summer, I work with you guys in the summer camp, and I'll be your storyteller. So I'll be sharing stories. Those stories are actually written by me. With each story, I'm gonna just kind of teach you some things, and like I said before, I want you to ask me questions. I want you to share what you think. If there's anything that you want me to share with you guys in the future, please let me know so that I can write stories about that as well. Okay, the story I'm gonna share with you today is a story about things that I've been seeing lately that people have been going through. Sometimes things that sometimes we tend to look at the negative that's going on, and sometimes we forget all the good things that we have all around us. And so this story, it's called The Smiley Face. Okay, so I'm going to share the story, and like I said, I'm going to share with you exactly what I've learned about the story, and I'm going to ask you questions just to see what you think as well. Also, if you want to also answer it by commenting and stuff, and just let me know, that'll be even better because I want to know what you think. Okay, so this story is called Smiley Face. This story is actually about a girl who was always smiling. Okay, she was very caring, kind, and loving too. Every time she would wake up, she had a bright smile on her face and was always ready to start the day. Every time she would go to school and her friends will tell her, "Why are you so happy?" She will answer, "It's just another beautiful day." Then the friends will say, "But nothing has happened yet." She will answer and say, "Nothing has to happen yet for you and I to be smiling today. Because it is already a beautiful day." As the day went along, she found some friends complaining instead, and she asked them, "Why are you sad today?" And they replied, "Because classes are not as easy as it was, and we are giving homework every day." She smiled and said, "Be glad. We are the future, and we stand here today, receiving the right education for a bright path along the way. That will help us on our everyday." Throughout the day, she discovered there were many reasons for people to be not happy. But with her right attitude, she learned that there were many reasons to be happy and to stay positive instead. She learned that her smile was contagious, and the more she smiled, the more others did too. She learned that even though there were also reasons for her not to smile or to be happy as well, or even be worried too, she chose not to only focus on those things, but instead focus on everything good around her and to never forget all her blessings that were given to her and that she had all around her. She had to learn to be grateful. And she taught everyone around her on how to do the same. With the attitude, with the right attitude and a bright smile on the face. After all, there is always a reason on why to smile again. Ta-da! So, I want to share a little bit about this story. I want to ask you mainly what is the main thing that you learned with this story. And then I'm gonna go, splitting into parts, okay? What is the main the main message of this story? I want you to think very, very deep and tell me why the story is called the smiley face. Okay? Let me know. I'm gonna give you about 2 to 3 minutes for you to think and let me know why you think this story is called smiley face. Okay? I'll give you a few seconds. Okay. So, why the story is called the smiley face? The story is called the smiley face because after everything that she was going throughout the day, first of all, when she started the day, she decided to start it with a smile in her face, okay? As the day went along, there were other things that happened, that she found that there were people who were not um, as happy and sometimes complaining. Uh, but even after all of that, even though she was going through the same thing as the other ones were going through, she decided to still keep a smiley face and to still, most importantly, have the right attitude. Even though sometimes at first when she began the day, nothing happened yet, she didn't wait for something to happen to have to be happy, because she learned that just by waking up that day and just by having a beautiful day, even if the day was rainy or sunny or cloudy or snowy, whatever it is, she was thankful that it was another day. When so the reason why the story is called a smiley face is because she chose to start the day happy, not to wait for something good to happen. She just decided to, you know what? Nothing has to happen yet for me to be happy. Because it was already another day and she chose to be happy. Then she learned that even though there were people who were complaining about different things, in this particular case, her friends were complaining because they were giving homework every day, and sometimes they were complaining because of classes were not as easy as it was the year before. But she decided not to just focus on those things. She decided to focus on the good thing about it. No, she could have easily say, yeah. She could have easily complained as well with her friends, but she chose to think about the good thing about that. And she said, well, what is the good thing that this is going to bring us? So let's not focus on only what we're feeling right now, the negative of it, but instead, look everything else. Okay? Okay. I have another question for you. Why do you think that? Um, do you think it's important to have the right attitude? Do you think it's important that do you think it helped the fact that she had a right attitude? For her to have a smile in her face? What do you think? Do you think the attitude matters a lot? Think really hard and then let me know. I give you 2 minutes to think about that. You're doing good. Keep thinking. And then I'll let you know what I think based on this story. Okay, so I'll tell you what I think. Please don't forget, you can comment on the video below as well, and just as well, so we can all learn from each other. Okay, because I'm interested in what you have to say. Okay, so what I think is it was very important for her to keep the right attitude, but not just to have the right attitude, but to keep the right attitude during the day. So it's very important for us overall um, to learn about this, because we can easily um, get we can easily get discouraged by hearing other people when they're complaining, or hearing other people's negativity. And it's important to hear the people, but above all, uh, choose to have the right attitude at the same time. Remember, to have the right attitude is not just to focus on all the negative that's going on. Understand that there's also positive behind everything else, and remember those things. And even if you're having a bad day, or even if we are having a bad day, not just to focus on that. Remember that there's always going to be another day and another day and another day, and there's so much blessings around us, so many good things. So let's not just focus about the negative, and remember to not just wake up with the right attitude like she did, but also uh, maintain the right attitude, even if people around you don't have it. Like her and her friends did not have the right, like her friends did not want to, you know, they were more focused about complaining, and and she could have done the same thing that her friends did, but she said no, let's focus about the right thing. Okay, let's focus as to why we're giving homework every day, because we have to learn. Let's focus on the fact that, you know what, this is going to help us not every day. So this is important that, you know, um, that that we keep that, okay, and learn from her, from this story. And so that way we can also be that influence for other people, even our friends, even our family, and everything. Okay? Okay. So now I'm gonna ask you probably the last question, and then I'm gonna tell you what I think, and then you can let me know as well. My last question is, do you think she was a role model? Do you think that um, she was a role model, even though she didn't have a big stage, even though um, she didn't have a leadership, you know, role in school or anywhere? Do you think somehow she was a role model and affected other people? Do you think her attitude affected other people as well? Think about that and let me know. I'll give you about 2 minutes, and please um, think hard on this, okay? Because I'm interested. If you have siblings around you, if you have your parents around you, um, talk to them and share some ideas, and talk about the story itself, and talk about, you know, the questions I'm asking you, and share each other's ideas so you guys can also learn from each other. And because it's always important to, you know, talk to other people and learn what they have to say, because I might think one thing, somebody else might think something else, and it's important to learn from one another. Okay, so if you have your siblings, if you have friends around you, if you have your parents around you, or any family members, ask them and think, you know, what they think. Okay, and also, you know, say what you think. I gave you 30 seconds, and then I'll let you know what I think, okay? Okay. So The question was, do you think she was a role model? Even though she didn't have stage, or even though she didn't have a leadership role exactly. Um, and I think, according to the story, she was a role model because um, her attitude, the way she chose to look at the positive around her throughout the day, as soon as she woke up and throughout the day, um, she her right attitude taught others around her to do the same. Uh, Sometimes she could have easily go along with other people, with her classmates that were complaining. She could have easily, you know, see something negative and kind of get discouraged, and chose not to have the right attitude. But she decided to have the right attitudes at all times. Okay, even when nothing happened, and even when good and bad things happen, she decided, you know what, I'm gonna have the right attitude, and I'm still gonna smile because there's still so many good things around me. There's still so many good things that, you know uh, and that, she remembered, all the blessings. And even when the classmates were complaining about school, she learned that, even though it was something that they were complaining at the moment, that was going to bring something good in the future. And that she learned that to just look at the positive in each situation. Okay, and she was a leader because, remember, you don't need to have a big stage to be a leader. You don't need to have big audience to be a leader. You don't even need to have a big leadership role to be a leader. And those are all good things, but remember, you are a leader already no matter what. And throughout the day, we encounter so many people. We see so many people. We see our families. We talk to our friends. We talk to our teachers. We talk to many people. Therefore, we do impact people no matter where you are. Okay? And by having the right attitude, by always having a smile on her face and always thinking positive, you affect and teach others to do the same. She started smiling, and throughout the day, she continued to smile and had the right attitude. And even though others sometimes were complaining and did not want to, not have, like, they were looking at the negative side of things, she taught them what she already learned and knew, which was to always have right attitude and look at the positive of everything, and not just to focus on the negative, but to always look at also the positive as well. And she impacted everyone else to do the same. So her smile and her right attitude were contagious because everyone else learned at the end to do the same. So remember, you are already a leader as it is. So always choose to have the right attitude, like my story, the girl on my story did. And also, um, not choose to have the right attitude, but also choose to remember all the good things around you, not just to look at the bad things that are going on anywhere, or just to hear what people complaining. Remember just to always look at the positive, and people will learn from you whether you believe it or not, and they will choose also to do the same thing. After all, it's always good to have a smile on the face and to have the right attitudes at all times. Okay? It's okay to sometimes, feel discouraged, feel a little sad, but not stay on that mood. Remember that there's also so many good things around us, and so many things that we can learn from each other and that you can teach others. Okay? Well, I don't know about you, but I learned a lot from my story. I think that we can learn so much from this story. Remember, please, I'll be doing each new story every week. So if you have something you want me to share, please let me know so we can all learn also. And remember that if you have any questions about this, if you have any comments, please let me know. Introduce yourself so that I know who you are. And like I said, share comments so we can all learn from each other and also you. So, if you have, like I said, any other story, please let me know. But don't forget to see also next week's story, which is going to be something really cool and fun, and something that we can learn as well. Thank you for seeing this video. If you have any questions, let me know as well. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And please let me know if you learned something about this. And if you want to let me know anything else, or any stories that you may have as well, so we can all share it and we can all learn it as well. Okay? Again, my name is Miss Gonzalez. I'll be your storyteller, counselor, and thank you so much for seeing this video. Thank you for seeing next videos. Do not miss it because it's gonna be more interesting. Okay, everyone, God bless you. Until next time, and take care. Bye bye.